Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, tonight, we're going to talk about a common emotion, a feeling, a sentiment, a comment that keeps getting made. It's made by people who look like me, and it's about everything that's going on in the country right now. And we're going to talk about it because while this has shown up in various comment sections for a while, it showed up in mine last night. So basically, all the comments are different, but they boil down to the idea of, well, I don't think that I should have to feel guilty about this. Okay, cool. So we're going to talk a little bit about guilt tonight. Years ago, my eldest son, for whatever reason, loved running around the island in the kitchen with the cabinet doors open, jumping over them like hurdles. And his younger brothers loved it too. They would just laugh and laugh. And of course, the first time I see him doing it, I'm like, don't do this. This is a bad idea. Eventually you're going to fall. You're going to get hurt. You're going to break the door, whatever. And being a kid, of course, that means he stopped immediately when I was around. One day, I'm out in the garage, and I hear him running. I hear his younger brothers laughing. And then I hear the crash. And I walk inside. He's laying on the floor. I'm like, are you all right? And he's like, yeah. And then he's just staring at the cabinet door. Half of it, the half that's still attached to the island. The other half is in the floor. So I grab the screwdriver and I start taking the part that's still attached, I start taking it off. And while I'm doing it, he tells me, he's like, I'm sorry. I feel bad. He felt guilt. Okay? We couldn't go straight to the hardware store. So the broken door, the two pieces of the door, were leaning up against the island. And there's a giant open space where there used to be a door for like 3 or 4 days. This whole time, he gets to see it. And he feels bad about it. Eventually, we go to the hardware store, get the stuff, bring it home. I have him fix it. Mainly to give him some basic carpentry skills, and also because if you break it, you fix it. His younger brothers would have been out there too had they been a little bit older, because they were in on it. They benefited from it. They were laughing. So he fixes it and puts it back together, puts it up himself. Looks good. He did a good job with it. While he was fixing it, he told me, again, how bad it made him feel. I would imagine, in the years since, he hasn't thought about that door. If he did, he didn't feel guilty about it. Because he fixed the door. I hope you get where I'm going with this. Nobody cares if you feel guilty. That's not an actual part of this. I have worked with activists, BLM activists, Panthers, from Michigan to Florida. Precisely 0 of them have ever cared whether or not I felt guilty. That didn't factor into it at all. They just wanted the door fixed. That was it. That was it. People say, but we need to get over it. We need to move on. We can't get over it. Right now, we're in that period where we're on our way to the hardware store. You're going to have to hear about it. Sorry. And I feel like this should go without saying, but I guess not. Perhaps the minor emotional inconvenience that is occurring to guys that look like me right now isn't really a big piece of the puzzle. Maybe that's not something that is really that important. Maybe what's important is fixing the door. Once we fix the door, we can move on. It can become a part of history rather than something that's currently going on. Then we can get over it. Then we can move on. Nobody cares if you feel guilty. They care if you've got your wood glue. Let's just fix the door. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.